up, family? It's your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite nephew, your favorite son, your favorite father, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place in which we come together to be educated, to learn, to grow, and just to be all around our best selves and live our most present lives. I'm on this journey, and you guys who are here, hopefully you are on this journey along with me. So I thank you all for being here. To my loyal and faithful subscribers, my family, I love you. You guys rock with me. You guys like the videos. You guys follow the channel, and you follow me everywhere else. And I am so thankful and grateful to you, because hopefully this is inspiring you to be more of a positive light in your own life, spreading some of this positivity and this light out here in the world. To those of you who are new subscribers, we actually had 100 new subscribers last week. That was kind of dope. I thought that was dope, so it is pretty dope. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you for hitting that subscribe button and joining the family. You are family. You're not going to get away from us. And yes, we talk about sometimes sensitive themes, and yes, we talk about all kinds of stuff, but hopefully it's here that you're getting some light out here on these internet streets. And you are growing, and you are learning to be your best self. So thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I honor you, I cherish you, I bless you, and I send you nothing but light. And to those of you who watch weekly, and there are some of you who do, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Why aren't you subscribed yet? You might as well subscribe to the channel. For those of you who want to know more about me, who want to know more about my coaching programs, who want to have a one-on-one coaching session with me, there's also a free 30-minute coaching session. There's also a free Positive Me course out there for you. Who want to know all that stuff and want to engage and indulge in all that stuff, you simply go out to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That is my business website, which is Live For You Coaching, a life coaching business, life coaching firm, in which we help people deal with trauma. And we grow beyond that to live presently. So www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And to those of you who want to follow my daily life, or at least get something from me every day, aside from things that I post on the website, I actually am on social media, so you can follow me at Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook. And I post things out there frequently, pretty much every day, 1 to 2, maybe 3, 10 times a day. Whenever I just feel like posting, I'm always always I don't know what it's called, Instagramming, whatever. I'm there. Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook. So I got, question recently, and it was about church hurt. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to just make this into a discussion with my family and with our friends, and we're going to talk seriously about church hurt. What is church hurt? Church hurt is the term that they've given to people who have had some kind of traumatic experience while going to their respective churches. And it doesn't matter what religion, whether they're Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, Church of God in Christ, Jewish, Muslim, Islamic, it doesn't really matter. It's just some people have had some traumatic experiences in their religious experience on life. Myself included. I've had some pretty traumatic experience going to church and being a part of a church and member of a church. And I was always someone who, no matter what church I was attending, I always involved myself in a major way, right? So I volunteered for a lot of different things. I worked the sound systems. I gave speeches and talks in church. I joined committees and all kinds of things, because I felt like church should be a community. It should be a place in which you go and you're able to have people who share like faith and like minds and like beliefs and like thoughts, and you're kind of, it's a family. It's a family, a extended family from your family. And for me, in certain instances, my family was in another state, and I was there alone. So that church family became my surrogate family where I was. And so I always wanted to give my all. And I strongly believe that when you're part of any community, and you're devoting part of your time into that community, it is an honor to be able to share your gifts, your spiritual gifts, your emotional gifts, your mental gifts, your physical gifts your financial gifts, whatever you can give. It is a beautiful thing to be able to do that to a community that you support, and that you support the message. However, on the other side of that, there's instances in which people have had to leave churches, or have faced church abuse, or have been abused in church, or all kinds of things. And so they label that church hurt. And we're not going to say the church hurt you. We're going to say that humans being humans who are in the church hurt you. And that's totally capable of happening, because humans are humans, are humans are humans. We're humans. And we all don't always do everything great. No one on this planet can say they've walked a life in which they never hurt anybody in any capacity, or even hurt themselves in any capacity. And so church hurt is a very real trauma, but at the end of the day, we don't blame the church for it, or even the religion for it. We blame the people for it. and we don't stay in that place of holding them hostage to that blame, but we make them accountable for what they've done to us, and we hold ourselves accountable for how we feel about it, and we be able to grow from that. I give my example all the time of growing up Catholic first, and then spending the majority of my formative years as a Jehovah's Witness, a fully functioning, practicing Jehovah's Witness. Fully engaged, fully involved, all that stuff. I mean, I was on trajectory to leading the congregation, or a congregation at some point. And I experienced a lot, and then as far as me going through my own personal walk in life, I came to realize that that's not what worked for me. That's not where my spirituality was most fed, where my spiritual life was most fed. I was just not getting what I needed, or what I felt was for my spiritual walk from that faith. And that's not to say that you can't find it there. That's not to say that that faith is wrong. I'm never going to criticize that, because my upbringing was an upbringing that I thought was the best that my parents could have done and what they thought was good for us. And so I would never, criticize it in that regard. And even if I didn't think everything was 100% healthy and good, it's still not something for me to try to tear down, because for somebody it is healthy and it is good. But when I decided to leave the faith, I lost everything and everyone who I had grown up with and I had known. And so it was a very traumatic experience leaving some of the traumatic experiences that I had experienced from people within the faith. And so, but I had to come to a place in which I said, you know what? Hurt people. People who have issues create issues for other people. And so I've learned to accept people where they are, and not where my hopes that they should be. And so I've learned to disengage the mentality of thinking, you hurt me, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. No, you're hurt. You're wounded. You're broken. And you can't give me whole if you're not whole. Just like I couldn't give you whole if I wasn't whole. And I'm not saying you should be perfect. I'm just saying you should at least be trying to be better than you were yesterday, today, and tomorrow, trying to be better than you were today, then. That's the thing. And so I get church hurt. I get people's feelings. But don't lose your sense of spiritual self, because some human, in their humanness, in their egoic mind, in that state of consciousness, hurt you. Don't allow that to hurt your spirituality. Because here's the thing. As humans, believe it or not, I am of the firm belief that we need spirituality. Yeah, I'm of the belief that we need spirituality. Because there has got to be something operating larger than who we are to keep all of this madness together, right? Whether it's the universe operating nature, the way we think, our emotions, our feelings, our interactions, other things, there's got to be something of a higher scale than us. And so when we accept and embrace that, that's to embrace the spirituality. That's not necessarily saying you have to go to a church in order to feel it. You can feel that in your living room, laying on your couch, watching a comedy on television. But at the end of the day, we know that there is something higher permeating, that connects everything and everyone on this planet and in the universe and all of that. And we call that spirit. Some call it God. We have many names for it. But that energy is incapable of hurting you. That is a creative energy. And you cannot have creation and destruction in the same lane. So a creative energy is a good energy. It's not what hurts you. So when you are considering and thinking about how you've been traumatized or been affected by something happening within your church community, it's not spirit that hurts you. So never let the church hurt rupture your connection, your relationship, your love affair with your spiritual walk. In fact, what I did with mine is that actually strengthened my spiritual walk, right? When I left my organized religion and I left my my faith, I left my faith, but I left my religion, I actually dove heavily into spirituality and trying to read, and I started reading the Quran, and I started reading the Bhagavad Gita, and I started reading the the Torah and the Kabbalah, the Zohar, and all types of other literatures and spiritual teachings of like Marian Anderson and of Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle and and even Joyce Myers. I read Battlefield of the Mind a lot. It's a good book. I read it a lot, and so but because I was hungry for spirituality, and my appetite only got stronger when I left my organized religion. That led me all the way up to getting a PhD in comparative religion because I became so enriched and so engrossed in studying religious studies that I just went all the way with it and earned my doctorate in that. Why? Because I loved it and I got hungry for it. And so church hurt didn't affect my hunger for spirituality. I didn't allow it to affect my hunger for spirituality and my spiritual walk. And it's a good thing that I didn't. I probably wouldn't be here speaking to my family, hanging out and chilling with my family here if I had allowed the things that had occurred in my organized religious faith experience, in my church experience, to impact my spiritual walk and how I felt when it related to higher power and to God and to spirituality and to all of that. So that's the one thing. Don't allow it to break your relationship with spirit. The second thing, and probably more importantly, is don't forgive. You've got to get to a place to where you're able to look at someone who's done something to hurt you and give them the freedom to let go of them from your hurt against them. Because when people do us wrong, one of the first things we want to do is hold a grudge. We don't want to let it go. We want to always remind them and remind ourselves of what they did. But who are you really hurting with that? You're not hurting them, you're hurting yourself. You're also disrupting on an energetic level the flow of life to move in both of you guys' lives. You're working as a barrier to spirit blessing you both. And I know people say, well, I don't want somebody who hurt me, because hurt comes in many different forms, you guys. Church hurt, hurt in the church, hurt from people in the church can come in many, many, many different forms. And I know that. However, I also know that sometimes people will say, well, I don't want God to bless them because they hurt me. How selfish is that? How selfish is it to say you don't want someone else to be blessed because that person hurt you? What makes you better than that person who hurt you? Because now you want them to be victimized because of their victimization of you. Is that fair to say that? I'm of the mindset that it is not my job to balance hurt. Someone do me wrong, I bless them. I might have emotions about it. I might have feelings about it. I might in the moment get upset about it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to always go back to, I bless them, I move on from them, I release them, and may God fill them with whatever needs to be filled in their lives. I'm not going to wish ill on them. I'm not going to want bad things to happen to them. I'm blessing them. I'm releasing them. and I'm forgiving them, and I'm moving on to live the life that I want, the life that I desire, a life of peace. And I can't have peace if I'm holding grudges. That's a blockage. That's congestion. So you gotta let it go. Let it go and free yourself of it. But the last thing is, remember who you are. Never forget who you are. While this was your religious faith, while this is what you practice, probably for many years of your life, it is not your identity. You are greater than that. You are bigger than that. You are connected to the force that is higher than that. Church is an avenue to try to reach that force, but at the end of the day, that force is always within you. And you are connected to that force. And we're all connected to that force. And when you remember that you're higher than your church, you're higher than your religious beliefs, you're higher than your experiences, then you start to say, you know what? Experiences, religions, churches, they come and they go all throughout our lives. They change just like anything else changes around. But at the end of the day, what stays consistent is my connection to God, to divinity, to spirit, to source, to light, to the highest energy, to higher consciousness, whatever, however you want to label that. You are connected to that. You are that energy. That is who you are. And so once you remember that, you remember self with the capital S. You know, that you are divine. And your experience didn't break you. And it couldn't break you because your experience didn't make you. And I'm going to repeat that, right? Your experience couldn't break you because your experience didn't make you. And so you accept that truth. You accept that you're higher than that experience, and you live the life that you want, the life that you deserve, the life that spirit, God, source, the universe wants for you. You live in alignment with that life. Remember that. Remember that. And be who you are, not who you were or what you've been through. So for those of you who've experienced church hurt, like me and like so many others, don't blame spirit. Don't blame the church. Place accountability with humans being humans and doing human things that are not always the best thing. We do good things and we do not so good things. That is part of the human walk of all of us. Place the accountability there. But once you place the accountability there, get to a place to where you forgive that person or those people and you bless them on their journey so that your journey is a blessed journey and that you can live whole, healed, happy, and move forward. I see and I know what you've gone through, but I also see and I know who you are. And that's it. That's it. You guys, I hope that helps. Specifically the person who asked the question, but I also hope it helps everybody who's experienced that. Hopefully that blessed you. It did bless me because it reminded me to remind myself to continue aside from all that. And you guys, you know, I appreciate you here. Thanks for subscribing. Those of you who haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share the videos. We're trying to expand this community and just be a light in this planet, a light in the internet streets, and a light in the world. Yeah, I know sometimes it seems dark, but light, you put one light in a dark room and the entire room is illuminated. So that's a very powerful thing if you keep your light. As I always say, I love you with the highest light, the highest love, the love of Christ, the love of God, all love in the universe. And I will see you in the next video.